So, in audio mixing, how does one get into said program?
In the program at the school?
No, just in that field of work.
Oh, okay. So, really, it's all about the path that you make for yourself, I think. Most of the time, job placement isn't so much a direct, like, hiring type of situation. I'm sure that happens, but I would say most of the time, if you're being hired in at a studio, it's probably because you were prepared for the job. Something prepared you for it. However, sometimes it helps just to be in the right place at the right time, and to know the right people, which is part of networking and just sort of treating everybody the right way, right? And just being cool and having a good attitude about it. With that said, though, if you don't have the skills, then none of that matters. So you have to put the work in first, and then you sort of make opportunities for yourself, if that answers your question at all.
Yeah, sure. So, what kind of skills would you need then to make yourself more appealing to someone who would possibly be hiring you?
Sure. So, like I said, obviously the mixing skills have to be there. If you don't have that, none of the rest of it actually matters. So that's sort of what we do here, is teach you that. But we also try to teach sort of social skills as well. If you're somebody who never goes out of your way to like help somebody or make something better because maybe you're not getting paid for it or something like that, you're probably not going to be somebody that people are kind of looking for. It's really common that the people who get these jobs or get like a specific mixing job or producing job for a project are just people who are known hard workers. For instance, maybe you've got an internship at a studio and it's unpaid, so you have the attitude of like, well, I'm not getting paid, I'm just going to show up and then leave when I'm done or whatever. But somebody else has an internship there and they're looking for work. They're trying to find things to do to try to help projects along and stuff like that. That's going to be the person that they're going to gravitate toward hiring and putting more projects into.
Okay. So, making connections to people that would be able to point you in the right direction, networking in that sense.
Yeah.
How would you find people like that?
Sure. I know for myself, so from my own experience, for me, being in a band helps a lot. So I play a lot locally, and I get to meet a lot of industry professionals because I'm just sharing a stage with them. It's a really good like foot in the door type thing. So it's weird if you just kind of walk up to somebody, they have no idea who you are, and just to go up to them and say, hey, I'm a producer and I want to record you or something like that. It's kind of not always the most welcoming way to approach somebody.
Yeah.
However, if you can sort of be introduced to somebody because you have a common known interest, like if you both play in a band or something like that, or if you don't play in a band, maybe you're not actually a musical like performer, but you still want to be able to produce music and you have a passion for it, I would just go to local shows, become part of like this community to where when you are walking down the street and you see musicians, you can at least, they know that you exist, sort of, and just be friendly with them. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean you have to go and kiss their butts. That's not necessarily what that means, but just having a familiar face that they can see, and they know that you go to these shows, they know that you're active in the scene. It's more important than, like I said, just like kissing up to them, if that makes sense. And the networking will sort of just naturally follow that concept. So, and if you have a good attitude and you just tend to be somebody who is always friendly and trying to make situations better, those people will be obviously the first person that comes to somebody's mind when they need something done.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, what would be the biggest challenge then to get into mixing and recording?
The biggest challenge, for me, it probably is that networking, and the ability to market yourself and know your market and understand sort of your market value. The actual work itself, I think, is almost the easy part. Like knowing how to mix drums or vocals or guitars or whatever is almost the easy part. The harder part is getting somebody to trust you to do it. Because music is such a personal thing where it's really hard for somebody to let you be in control of their baby, basically. They've been coming up with these songs for maybe years, and you're going to just step in and either make or break their whole life. So I think the biggest challenge is probably just that, just getting somebody to trust you enough to work with them.
Nice. That should be good then.
Awesome.